from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the if you're new, welcome to the podcast. That's not easy for me to explain what it is. And regular listeners, you already know that. But if you're new, welcome to Sleep With Me. It's a podcast that's here to fill in for you at bedtime. If you've ever been looking for a friend to talk to you about nothing, if you've ever started a YouTube video or a show on your phone, put it under your pillow or a little bit outside your bed, if you ever listen to anything as background noise, but something, that you're looking for something, I'm looking for something to keep me company, kind of, something I could barely listen to. But sometimes I might want to listen to it, something that feels comforting and familiar, but isn't here to intentionally put me to sleep. That's here to talk to me while I fall asleep or talk away from, I don't know. I don't even know what I mean. All I know is this podcast is here to be a service to you so that you could fall asleep, so that bedtime is a little bit more pleasant. Usually I'm a little bit more silly, but I was like, man, I'd like to really explain who this podcast is for. And it's for you. If you've ever been looking for something deep, dark night at bedtime and you say, well, I've tried this, I've tried this show about people working in an office, or I've tried listening to this person on YouTube who talks about, different types of stuff, but doesn't quite, every time, I don't know, I'm looking for something like that. This might be the show for you. And that's what most people, it takes 2 or 3 tries to get used to this podcast, and then they say, I had no idea I was looking for this my whole life. You are here to make bedtime slightly more pleasant. You are barely humorous. So I don't know, if you think you may want to be kind of friends, a friend that's in service to you, but you don't have to clean up after me. You don't have to wonder if I left, everything. It's all virtual. I'm here serving up the lulls. And don't worry, I'll get sleepy later. I just get excited about this because your bedtime is important. Your ability to get the sleep you need is important. And your ability to have something comforting in the deep, dark night at bedtime or when you wake up later all night long is important. And I hope I could provide that. Give it a few tries, see how it goes. We got coming up next is a support and then a long meandering intro separate from the support that eases you into bedtime. And then it'll be our first, our first real-time recipe episode in a while. And of all things, we'll be prepping some breakfasts, so that should be cool. We'll go it'll be like I'm actually like going to the grocery store and making, oats. So you'd be like, what? That does not sound good to me at all. You're right to sleep to it does, so maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. So I'm glad you're here. I work really hard. And this show is made possible by people that support the sponsors we're going to talk about, support the show directly, spread the word about the podcast. It's another great way. Just let somebody know about the show. If you love it, if you kind of like it, if you fall asleep to it, you have no idea what it's about, let people know about that. Huge help to the show. And those of you that send your kindness to me and to the other listeners, that's why I'm here week after week, because it means something to me. But your support really is the wind in my sails. Let them lull and let me barely be comfortable being able to barely speak sometimes. So thank you so much, whether you're new or you've listened to the show thousands of times. I'm glad you're here. And here's a couple ways we're able to do it for you. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. Sleep With Me is sponsored by Soundcore from Anchor in their new Soundcore Sleep A20 earbuds, which block noise for a quieter sleep. These noise-blocking earbuds offer unparalleled pressure-free comfort even for side sleepers like me. And while I'm sleeping soundly, the long battery life ensures I'm not interrupted but blocking noise the whole night long. I love these earbuds. Its long battery life provides uninterrupted audio throughout the night. Sleep mode takes 14 hours on a single charge and 80 hours in the charging case. Bluetooth mode takes 10 hours on a single charge and 55 hours in the charging case. Soundcore A20 earbuds block noise for quiet sleep. And these earbuds are so comfortable. Get the sleep you deserve with Soundcore A20 at soundcore.com. That's soundcore.com. Use code SLEEP at checkout to get $30 off. SLEEP in all caps. Tonight, every night, grab your pair and sleep away. Hey everybody, this is Scoots. This is where I talk about our membership program. The best way to support your ongoing enjoyment of Sleep With Me is to support it. Not only do you get amazing benefits like podcasts with just ad-free episodes, podcasts with just story-only episodes, podcasts with bonus episodes. It is, in 2025, what enables us to keep making the show. But I have not been successful, like, for the past few months in encouraging people to sign up with my way I've been asking. So it's time to do it differently. So now I'm just going to use testimonials right from a listener and see if you identify with what this listener says. This is Jen from the Seattle area who's been listening to Sleep With Me since 2016. And Jen was dealing with some medical stuff in 2016 in October. And when I got home, I was having a ton of trouble sleeping for various reasons. And I asked on social media, and someone suggested the podcast. I tried it out a few times and couldn't make it past the intro in a good way. I went right to sleep. And because the show helped me out with so much with my sleep issues, I wanted to give something back to return the support I felt from listening. And I would say, think about if the show has really helped you. The show has been a miracle worker for me personally and is often the only thing that can settle my brain down and get me to sleep. If you're anything like me, the podcast helps you get valuable and important sleep. If you find value in having the show available and it's been helpful to you, I heartily encourage you to give back to the show. It gets lots of bonus material and great stuff like all intro episodes. I spent years struggling with insomnia and being unable to sleep, and the fact that I can go to bed now and I know that I'll be probably able to sleep through the night. It's priceless. So if Sleep With Me is priceless to you, think about supporting it back so we can be here for you and a lot of other people. If anything that Jen said you identify with, you could even do it and cancel. Try out a free trial first. Get that bonus content all set up in a podcast app and see what you think. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support your scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Don't forget, if you're looking for access to Sleep With Me Plus, to access to ad-free episodes, but you're not in a financial position to support the show, you can earn those for free. By referring people to free podcasts at our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. If you're like, yeah, I can't afford to support the show, but I really want some of that sweet, sweet bonus content on Sleep With Me Plus, sign up for our referral program and send me an email. Thanks, everybody. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether that's thoughts, like things you're thinking about, thoughts on your mind, thoughts about the past, the present, the future, thinking thoughts, feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally, maybe related to those thoughts, maybe feelings that are just there, feelings, physical sensations, any changes in time, temperature, routine. You could work a different schedule. You maybe work the third shift, the fourth shift, the D shift, the 16th shift. Who's out there on their 16th shift? Most they say, no, there's only 3 shifts, Scoots. And I say, according to you, there's only 3 shifts. Oh, we got 4 shifts. There's only, oh, really? So there can't be 24 shifts. I'll give you, I'll say, you got to stop at some point. Okay. Do we stop on the half hour or the quarter hour? Because, while Dolly Parton might have worked 9 to 5, some people might work 8:15 to whatever, 4:15 or 4:45 if, they got to work extra half hour. Like most of my jobs, you get unpaid lunch. You get 30-minute, 2 15-minute breaks paid, but not a paid lunch. And you say, well, that's on the 15th. Can you do that math, Scoots? Okay, 24 shifts would be if it was 1 shift per hour. 48 would be if there's 2 shifts per hour. So it's 50 or 100 minus 4, right? Is 48. Plus 48 is like 96. So, I'd say 96. I mean, it's not over 100. That's not too many, I don't think. Think about those people on the 97th shift. I guess it would be the people like in the 70s. They say, no one gets what it's like being, I work on the 71st shift. One day I want Dolly Parton to say, I work, I don't know what the 71st shift would be. I guess if it was a 24 hours, it'd be somewhere, you'd start work at like 11 p.m. maybe. I don't know. It's probably somewhere between 7 and 11 p.m. Yes, even Scoots doesn't get it, man, and he wants to. I work 10:45 to 8 hours plus 30 minutes later. That's the 71st shift. The spiritual essence of the 71st shift. So it could be whatever's keeping you awake. It could be gas, travel, work, math. Holy cow. The number of times, this was not meant as a pun, but it's incalculable. The number of times math has kept me awake as a child and adult. Or math-related things. It's not punny at all or funny. It's just true. It is funny now. Because they say now, I take math, I use it to show how, I'm empowered by those things. That's really the truth. So whatever's keeping you awake, I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of it so you could fall asleep. And I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. And there's 2 hearts of the show, really. I guess it's 1 heart, 2 sides of the heart of the show. There's not 71 shifts of the show. But one is that a lot of us we're not all exactly the same that listen to this podcast or that I make it, but we all share something. And it's hard to put into words, but it's something related to sleep and bedtime. I mean, you could even say just using a vocabulary word for it, DREAD, but it's different for everybody, right? But a lot of us can relate to the feelings that lie underneath that when you want to go to sleep and you can't. But on top of that, there's so many people that have listened to the show over the years that have let me know what's going on with them. And they just say, hey, thanks. Like, this is what I've been dealing with sleep. And I'm glad that there's somebody else out there that gets it. I know that somewhere in the world, there's someone who can closely identify with whatever it is you're going through. And they do care. I realize in a world like this, it doesn't feel like that. Or you say, it's just a podcast. It's not. You and your feelings matter. And we're here in whatever way you can through a podcast and a community of listeners behind the podcast to see you and let you feel seen with whatever is going on with you in sleep. To kind of release that knot a little bit and say, okay, I don't believe that somebody else out there gets it, but somebody else out there does get it anyway. And that person that gets it for you, really gets it, they really hope this podcast can help you out and that one day you're the one just perking up a little bit in bed and thinking of that person with nice thoughts and saying, wow, if you're going through what keeps me up too, I get it. It's, people want to say, oh, that's nothing. Just stop, but it's not. It's hard. The other side of the show, the other part is that you deserve a bedtime where you could get some rest. You deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need so your life is more manageable. And that eventually could be out there flourishing, a bedtime you don't have to dread, where you say, if this is the podcast for you, oh, I got my boyfriend coming in. He's going to keep me company and take my mind off of stuff. And that'll be pretty nice. I'm looking forward to that. I'm barely looking forward to barely listening to him. And that's what this show is. It's a podcast that you kind of just barely listen to. You kind of, like I said, like you might listen to something else. So you say, well, kind of listen to that YouTube video or that, whatever it is, that streamer, but not totally paying attention because it's not exactly interesting. It's kind of like a friendly voice I don't know, it just makes me feel better. Knowing somebody else is there and feeling that presence, a kind, warm presence. So that's what the show is. And you say you can listen, but you don't need to listen. And the thing is that for most people, this show does take some getting used to. It's an acquired taste. You see, when you first get here, you probably are skeptical, doubtful. Maybe you're tired and frustrated. You've been looking for something to help you sleep. If you're anything like me, you've tried tons of stuff, spent tons of money on stuff, and you say, yeah, I'm looking for something to help me sleep. Is this it? I don't know. But yeah, you're right about that. I don't know either. Well, I do know because I'm here to try to help you fall asleep. So just see how it goes. That's what most regular listeners said. Hey, at first I didn't like it or I didn't know. And then I realized, oh, he's serious about me barely listening. He is just here to barely be paid attention to, but he is barely kind of funny like. It's a nice friend. And there's something about it that's familiar, but each episode's different. I like it. And I don't even know what I like about it because I just wake up. So, yeah, that's takes some getting used to. It's also a podcast, even though when I first started the idea of bedtime stories for adults and sleep podcasts wasn't really a thing, this is still a sleep podcast that doesn't put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company and distract you while you fall asleep so you could fall asleep whenever you fall asleep. Or if you need a break during the day or you can't sleep at all, I'm here to keep you company either way. I'm here to the very end because every night I know there's a couple people out there. They're the most important listeners. I mean, besides you, obviously. But they're the most important listeners because I know they can't sleep at all, whatever it is going on with them. Some of them are regular listeners. Some are new listeners. So I'm here to keep you company at the very end, whether you're awake or asleep, or if you need a break during the day. There's a lot of people that listen to this because they do some sort of work where they just need something in the background, or they're having a stressful day and they need a friend during the deep, dark day. So I'm here for you, whether you listen to me or not. It's a little bit different thing, but the thing is there's no pressure to fall asleep. That's why the episodes are over an hour. That's why there's like, whatever, 3-something. I don't even know how many episodes we got in the archives ready to go. Maybe it's 600 episodes. I have no idea. But so you can pick episode after episode or make your own playlists. So there is no pressure to fall asleep because I'm here to be your bore friend, your bore sib, your bore bud, your neighbor, your bore bee, your bore burr, your bore friend, your bores, your bore. I think I said it. Your best bore friend forever, and keep you company. So, but you don't got to pay attention. You just say, oh yeah, I'm totally listening. Oh yeah, tell me more about that. Okay, great. So those are a couple things to know. Just see how the show goes. Oh, if you loathe me, sorry I didn't say this earlier, you're not alone either. Say, yeah, 70% of people like listen to this podcast once or twice, and probably 90% of those people loathe me. But here's the thing. If you give it a few tries and you say, oh, no, this isn't going to work, sleepwithmepodcast.com, no thank you. So it's sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. It has other sleep podcasts, just has a list of other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff that you could try out to help you sleep. Because whether you like me or not, you deserve a good night's sleep. All the stuff I said is true, even if you never listen to this podcast again. So there's that. What else do you need? Oh, the structure of the show. So this podcast is you can adapt or like adjust how you listen, but I like to meet you where you are, whether you're new or sometimes for regular listeners, they get a new idea of how to listen to the podcast. But we make the show in a very specific way. And if you ever have any feedback, unless it's like the kind you just, if it's the kind that's like high temperature feedback, just go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. But if you say, hey, this is how I listen to the podcast, I'm just wondering, let me know. The contact form on our website's there. But most people like this ad-supported, like free version of the podcast, and they listen linearly. A lot of people with a sleep timer set for an hour or 45 minutes. A couple people with a 30-minute sleep timer. And so the show starts off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever I say. So you feel seen and welcomed in. That is very important. That's on all our shows, or at least most of the shows we made in the last, 8 years. So you feel, okay, I might check this out. And then there's support. So paying for the show is optional. And it's the people that choose to pay for the podcast or choose to support the sponsors that allow us to make the show and put it out for everybody. So that's cool, man. And if you prefer a show without sponsors, you can get that at Sleep With Me Plus, and that keeps the show sustainable. But that's just like there. Then after that and after the support is the intro. Now the intro is separate from the support. It's about 15 to 20 minutes long. It's a show within a show meant to explain what the podcast is, but I always get distracted. Never fails. Never is I have never not gotten distracted. And so it's different every single time. Something new distracts me while I go through a familiar structure of explaining what the podcast is. So there's something familiar, but there's variety to it. And that's just what I've seen work with people that this show works for them personally, is that if I have something that's the same every time, part of me adapts and it stops working. So that's what the intro is, but it also, the reason it's 15 to 20 minutes long is to ease you into bedtime. While there is a small percentage of listeners we're so happy about that they're asleep, or partners that are in bed with people that are asleep, we're so happy for you. We're imaginarily finger clapping. But for most people, this podcast eases you into bedtime. So the intro is a buffer, right? Whether you're getting ready for bed, you're doing a wind down activity, you're chilling out, you're in bed getting comfortable, you're petting your pets, you're blowing kisses to your fishes, whatever it is, the intro eases you into bedtime. That's just what's been shown to work. What works for me is having a bedtime routine. If you decide you want a show without intros, we have a story-only version of this podcast. It's called Bedtime Stories from Sleep with Me. Then there's, after the intro is support, and then there'll be our bedtime story tonight. It'll be making breakfast with Bob. And so we haven't done that. Like, this is a lot of stuff I have for breakfast on a regular basis. So it'll be cool. Like, I'm really excited because there's some good, some gems in there. And yeah, that's it. I'm really glad you're here. I really appreciate you checking this podcast out. I know maybe, you're quizzical or whatever. But just see how it goes. I'm really glad you're here. I work, believe it or not, myself and a team of people work really hard on this show because it's important. So once again, thank you for coming by. We yearn and strive to help you fall asleep and to keep you company. And here's a couple ways we're able to do it for you.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was waiting to get your money back, which turned into worrying about getting your money back. Now, Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes today and help you get up to a $4,000 refund advance loan fast. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. Refund has $0 loan fees and 0% APR. Refund advance loans may be issued by First Century Bank N.A. or WebBank. Terms apply, subject to credit approval.
Hey, thanks for meeting up with me here. We're going to do some cooking. Breakfast at bedtime, I guess. We're going to go into this store. And it's going to be the same store as we've gone into before, but it's had some mystical changes that'll have everything we need so we don't have to go to more than one store. Isn't that nice of them? Yeah, it's good to see you, too, by the way. Like, it seems like you're doing pretty great. Yeah, well, it doesn't always feel that way, but so good to see you. All right, got a shopping list here. We're going to take a right as we come in here. And the handy thing is this is like whatever I don't know, they call it, is this the refrigerated section, produce? I don't know if these aisle, like produce on aisle, this isn't an aisle though. This is like a section. And we're going to start here. We're going to get kale, a bag of kale. They don't sell loose kale here. I mean, this kale's loose in the bag. Or stemmed kale. I don't know. Just a kale and then the baby spinach, yeah. Then we're going to check here the berries. Which berries should you, if berries are out of season, we can always get frozen berries. But look, here's the thing I do. I freeze my berries in season too. So get some berries. Oh, two kinds of berries. Great. Those blackberries and blueberries. Okay, good. We're going to get bananas, though. Those are, oh, no. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we need bananas. Get those ones that are already, they don't normally do this, but they did it for us. We're going to grab those ripe bananas. Yeah, those are like already, like normally most, like this is only because it's a fantastical grocery store, grounded in reality, but fantastical. I guess we can manifest what we need, but we still got to pay for it. That's the funny thing. It says that outside on the sign. Manifest what you need, but you still got to pay for it. Also, there's like a star, and then it says a bunch of small stuff. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, we need bananas. And then I always have to ask for help here because we need some dates, which you said, Scoots, you in the store and dates. But no, we need dates as in pitted dates. Yeah, hi, we're looking for, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Oh, thanks for being so helpful. We need dates. Looks like it. Yeah, you must listen to my podcast, huh? No. Oh, sorry. But we do need some pitted dates, pitted against, okay, you're still working my material. I like it. But yeah, okay, thank you. That's perfect. Pitted dates we have. All right, then we're going to head over here to the dairy area. I think we're done, but I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll be back. And what we're going to get here is, now you could always get alternatives if you need them. But we are going to get butter, eggs. Here's the thing, though. If you need flax eggs, you could get them. Grab that. It just happened to see how I said that. There's a bag of flax egg or egg alternative. I think it's flax egg. I don't know what it actually. I like saying that. It makes me sound knowledgeable. As a matter of fact, we got to go back because I forgot. Back in the cereal area, which is adjacent to the citrus area. Oh, we could get coffee too. But first, let's grab these things. We need I prefer the ground flaxseed here, as opposed to the one you grind yourself. And chia seeds, yeah, those ones, chia seeds. Okay, and couple other keys that I forgot. Now we're going to get, see that oat bran? That's Bob's oat bran. I don't want to say it'll change your life, but it may change your life if you so choose to enter in a long-term relationship with it. I try to buy it wherever I go. If leave it behind with family. And then we're going to get those protein oats and let's just buy a variety of the oats. Oh, you want me to tell you about the variety of oats? Sure. Okay. So, yeah, we've got the oat bran, and we could get the organic or the non-organic. Okay. Then there's rolled oats. We don't want to for this particular breakfast. We're not getting any other Sorry, we want rolled oats. We want oat bran and rolled oats. Just for today, we're not going to delve into these other oats because they do have, steel-cut oats, Scottish oats. Not sure what those are. Maybe that'll be on my list to try one day. We don't need any of the quick-cooking ones because, again, once you work with this oat bran, it may change your, perspective. Not the instant either. Just old fashioned. Yeah, I never tried the extra thick ones either. But yeah, let's try those. And yeah, the protein oats or the organic. Okay, organic protein oats, great. Okay, maybe check my list now, because we got to go. It's weird at this store. The oats are in one aisle, the flour's in another. So we'll go in the baking aisle next. We want to get back to the, we got eggs and butter. Now we want to get milk and milk alternatives. So we could get milk, oat milk and almond milk. If you have any other milk alternative. Oh, okay. Never had I don't know if I've had hemp milk before, but I'll try it. That's great. Okay, so I'm checking. I'm looking at my list. I'm checking it twice. How many breakfasts are we making? Quite a few. I mean, we've got a lot of options from basic. All these are going to be breakfasts I regularly have. You're just making time to see if I've gone on any actual dates based on this grocery store? No. Let's see, the last time I shared a moment with someone, well, there's twice. One was I didn't share a moment with someone, but I did notice them. And then maybe subconsciously, though I don't think so, I lost track of my cart and I realized I'd put my turkey and something else in her cart. But I just kept it to myself because they said that's so, I said, my subconscious has no moves because, excuse me, I think I left my turkey in your cart. So I just said free. And then I said, maybe I should warn them that my turkey's in their cart. But he said, no, just talking out now, I can see how silly it is. But there was another time I shared a moment with someone, but wasn't sure about it. So we just shared a moment. And I said, well, it's a pretty good moment we shared there. It wasn't actually at this store either. No offense to this particular location. But I found another, I guess I'm expanding my horizons. That other location, there's no manifestation going on there, obviously, because otherwise be manifesting dates right out of there. Okay, so now we're in the baking aisle, and we need flowers. Oh boy, do we! And I'm not talking about the kind you bring on a date. I'm talking about the kind we're not going to be using any date and flowers together, but we have quite the list. We're going to get flower, because we don't need it for breakfast. But down the road, you got to trust me, you want this flour on hand for when you make pizza dough. And then maybe one day you make breakfast pizza, I don't know. So grab that flour. Then we need the all-purpose flour. Yeah, okay. You can choose among them. I don't mind. Whichever one you think works. You'd like me to go through all the flowers. Okay, let's talk about the ones they have. Okay, so the one is for pizza. Okay, so we're going to get that. Then we have all-purpose, non-bleached. Okay, we need that, yes. Okay, then we have whole wheat, organic. We're going to get that, yeah. Okay, check. Then we're going to get artisan bread flour. Check. Okay, then if you want to do gluten-free, they have a lot of options. So they have the 1-to-1 baking, and then they have the all-purpose baking. But I don't know. I haven't used those ones, right? And then there's a lot more options. But we're just going to stick to what I actually eat on a regular basis, okay? Then there's, organic. We could get organic. And, these are a variety of ones I've never tried before. It doesn't mean I have anything against them. But we do need to find vital wheat gluten. And then, sometimes you'll find the flaxseed over here, too. Okay, so I think that, let's see if that covers us for flowers. Let me check my list. Artisan whole wheat. Okay, then we need baking soda and baking powder. I'm not actually sure which one we need, so we need both. But you're always going to need both, because one time you might want to make cookies or something, and then you say, I needed the other one. Okay, so we got those. Then walnuts. I know what we need the walnuts for. Okay, so grab those. You can scrunch them up right in the bag, too. I like to do that ahead of time. Formerly whole walnuts or halved walnuts. Okay, then we need, and then, again, these are all changes you can make when you're doing this on your own, when you fly like a bird. Okay, so then we need sugars. And again, I don't have any experience with I make a great non-sugar alternative lemonade, but I don't have any experience making breakfast with different sugars. So I can't comment on it because we're only making, but I know our friend Stacy does. So maybe at some point we could go back to Stacy's, Okay, but so we're going to have brown sugar, regular sugar. Okay, then we need yeast. Now, personally, all the stores were manifesting aside. I bought my yeast at the old Coing of land of Kirkland. Now, they don't have their own yeast, but they had a big thing of yeast. And so what I do is I keep it in the freezer. and then I fill a jar that I have my yeast in my fridge. But I'm yeasted, man. Like I'm yeasty, like Beastie Boys. I'm more like a yeasty boy. Because I figure, okay, I got the yeast, I got it covered. Until the bag runs out, which then I'll forget. But I think the bag will, I think I'll be good. Like my daughter, well, she'll be, there'll be yeast aplenty in her life. But I don't know what the life, it's in the freezer, so. Okay, and then we need vanilla. Now, hopping back to non-manifestation at this store, they have a lot of vanilla options. Now, personally, I like the vanilla. They have a vanilla paste that comes in there. Yeah, so that's one. They don't have a vanilla powder, but at home I do have powdered vanilla. But you know what's getting rave reviews right now that I haven't got is they have one without alcohol and one with alcohol. Double fold vanilla, which I think means the beans are inside the jar. Yeah, so let's get a, we don't need a lot of vanilla, but again, these are things that I just double them. Like, so what I'll do is I'll put I'll either use powdered vanilla. Oh, we forgot coffee. Oh, I got an idea because they have pumpkin pie spice. So let's pretend, I just manifested it. Powdered vanilla, pumpkin pie spice. Then we're going to go back and we're going to get the ground French roast coffee here. I don't buy the vanilla coffee here because I used to, but it would leave a residue. And I found another grocery store that has vanilla coffee, but I guess we could talk coffee. Let me just make sure we have everything we need. I think vanilla was the last thing on the list other than salt. So let's just make sure we have salt. Okay, so coffee-wise, as we check out, how you doing? Yeah, no, I found dates. Thank you. I guess that's worked its way around the store, huh? No, I was not able to manifest the dates. Someone had to help me find the dates. No, I'll be just using them. Well, I could tell you, it's a spoiler. I'm making an episode about making breakfast. I use the dates in overnight oats and smoothies, which I actually don't, I personally don't delineate between the two. What do I mean? Well, what do I mean by that? I don't delineate between the two. Oh yeah, okay. So we got the coffee. Thank you. And you grabbed instant oats. That's good because we can use them too. Oh, quick cooking. Thank you for correcting me. Well, I was just telling my friend here that so I make cold brewed coffee, right? Well, how do I make it? Okay, so I have a jar. I have no idea the size of the jar, like some sort of mason type jar. Or bell jar, I don't know. And I don't know what size it is. Quart? I don't know. Pint? Not a pint. Definitely not a pint, I don't think. It's big enough to hold. So what I do is I put 5 tablespoons of coffee in there, heaping. But what I used to do was so I'd fill a container with this particular store's French roast coffee. And another store's vanilla nut coffee, which I just think means you love vanilla. But it wasn't super strong vanilla. Why not your store's vanilla? Yours leaves a residue. What do I mean? I'd have to explain how I make the coffee, but it leaves a residue on the filter and on the jug, the receptacle. So whatever. No, it doesn't actually do anything, but it complicates things for me. Could you just trust me on that? Oh yeah, that's why I can't manifest dates. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, so what I used to do is mix like a bag of vanilla and a bag of French roast coffee together. And then just shake it up and then take 5 tablespoons, put it in the jar. And, then fill it with water and then put it in the fridge. I'm about I do 24 hours in the fridge, just for that's not philosophical or taste. It's just, that's when I remember. I couldn't do 16 hours because I would have no idea. That just never would work for me. I do find if I miss, like I can go over 24 hours, but it's anywhere after like about 36 becomes a little bit off-putting. Off-putting. Thank you for checking us out. Do you want me to finish about the coffee? Okay. It's almost like we're already this is a real-time recipe episode. So, yeah, it's scoop 1, scoop 2, scoop 3, scoop 4, scoop 5. Now what we're going to do, the whole store's gathered around me. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the powdered vanilla and the pumpkin pie spice. So we're going to need 2 of my jars and 5 more. You go ahead, put 5 tablespoons of coffee in there. Just a French roast. We don't have any vanilla right now. And then we're going to flavor our own coffee. I would have never thought to do this. And I don't know if I necessarily recommend it, but we're going to put a half tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice in that one. And a full, not tablespoon, teaspoon, I'm sorry. Oh boy. I mean, I guess if it has okay, that'll just be extra pumpkin-y. That was my mistake. You could keep that one at the store. How about it? Who knows? It might be probably to some person's liking. And I have pushed it to a teaspoon before. And I can handle a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. But I don't know if like my daughter drinks 1 cup of coffee now. Please don't judge me. Okay. And then for this one, we're going to put a teaspoon of vanilla powder in there. And I guess you could use other forms of vanilla. I just don't know price wise. I bought the powdered vanilla so long ago. I don't know how much it cost. So I guess I'm more comfortable when I pay, a certain amount of money for vanilla here at this store, and I know there's like 5 tablespoons or teaspoons in there. I'd just rather have my coffee not flavored than, if it's not cost effective. This is only an experiment because the vanilla, I've been unable to actually manifest the vanilla coffee at the other store because I really only go to the mainstream grocery store for that kind of coffee. And the zero version of the soft drink, I have 2 zeros. I have a certain flavor root beer, and then a certain flavor cola, and then I guess I get some sparkling water here. Do you still have any starfruit in? No, you don't. I love that starfruit. Do you think you'll put winter sangria in cans? Not sure. You just work here. I know. But so I haven't been able to get that coffee just because I haven't been to the store. And then the price has gone up. So sometimes it's on sale. Like I think they've adjusted the prices. So stuff's always on sale. So if it's not on special, you just don't buy it. Okay, so we've got our coffees here with water. Thanks everybody for working together. And what we're going to do now is leave those for 24 hours. Now, just like on TV, I just happen to have 2 cold things of, this is how it works, even in real-time recipe, because we can't wait. I couldn't sit here for 24 hours, as lovely as that would be. Wow, you're clearing out so we're going to cook right here in the store. This is great. This is like a dream come true. I got customers. I got, I'm manifesting a cooking show right here. Okay, so then my receptacles. Now, it's rare that I have 2 receptacles because I only have 1 at home. Though the funny thing is I've broken 2 of them because I don't use the main one that may be more expensive. The one I buy, it's like a little glass bubble thing, with a filter on top. And then I do use a coffee filter. So yeah, I use a metal filter and a coffee filter. Why? Cleaning convenience. Yeah, it just makes it easier. And then it makes it easier to compost the whatever those are called, grounds. Yeah, so we're going to put one in each. Yeah, put a filter in there. It's a good thing you sell filters here, too. Yeah, I do like the non-bleached filter. And then, yeah, we'll pour the coffee in there. And you kind of, what I like to do is shake the glass, make sure the top's on. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Well, that happens to me, too. Okay, now make sure the top's on. Now shake it up. And then, like, halfway through, you're going to, because it's going to take 3 or 4 pours. You're going to swirl it and then pour. And you may even need a little drop of water in the bottom to just get the last bit of grounds out of there. Okay, good. All right, so let's get started here on our first, the overnight. Let's start with the overnight thing because we're doing, now the good thing is, right, by manifestation of the magic, someone has frozen put the bag of kale and baby spinach in the freezer, which is what I do at home. So thank you for that. Okay. Oh, and yeah, thanks for having all this measuring stuff and blenders and everything. Okay, so we're going to get a couple things ready. We got the kale and the spinach frozen ready. We're not going to actually need that for not actually 24 hours. This is only a 12-hour situation. Okay, we're going to make a couple different ones. So each one, so that one will use regular milk, and that one will use almond milk. So we'll make 4, I guess. Okay, so for each one, you're going to put 1 cup of liquid in there. Okay, great. Then you're going to put 1 tablespoon of chia in there. Chia seeds. Okay, great work. That's very good. And then, now here's the thing. We're going to use the oats, and I think these are we're going to look on the bags. And I'll say which cup, what the serving oats is, a third a cup, a half a cup. Now, here's the thing. This oat bran is an excellent stand-in if you're not going to do this overnight. And you say, I really liked that. You could still use the chia, or you could cut out the chia too. But I found the oats and the chia, they're what need the overnighting, right? Overnight oats. We're having an overnight oats smoothie. But what's the difference? I guess just how you consume. Well, I guess it is a difference. I guess this could be you got me. I guess if we were doing the smoothie. Okay, on the 4th, on that hemp milk, we'll do a smoothie, okay? So don't put any oats in there. So just the chia, okay. Okay, the other ones we have oats. And again, if you, now we're not, the oat bran is not for this, but it could be, if you have to do this the morning of, you just use, I'll just talk about that in a minute. Yeah, this is why I make a sleep podcast. Okay, next we're going to take, yeah, that's good. We got a chopping board and everything. So we're going to take 4 dates, separately because they're each for 4 containers. And we're just going to chop the date up, rough chopped date. And then we're going to put 1 date in each thing. Now, so this one currently, the hemp milk one, only has chia, hemp milk, and the dates, right? I forgot why we were doing, because this is going to be overnight oats. Okay, so great. So blend that one. And yeah, we use this blender, that has the cups already built in, great. And yeah, you will want to pulse it, let the date settle the bottom, pulse it again. Okay, good work. So for that one, so here's the thing with the overnight oats, why I prefer the smoothie. Can't really get any vegetables, and I can feel everybody in the world rolling their eyes. But But it's hard to get the vegetables into the overnight oats, but they are enjoyable. So the only thing the overnight oats is missing are a couple things. If you want a vanilla, you could flavoring in my opinion, flavored protein powder. So you could put about a quarter to a half a teaspoon of vanilla in there, and you could do that now. And then I recommend protein powder. I mean, not just, again, you can figure out what your consumption is, but it is about what you're getting out of it, but also flavor-wise, if you're using a good quality one that you've already tested out, it can really add some mouthfeel and taste if it's a good one. So, yeah, these are the ones I have, but I really don't want to be in a position of saying what they are. And you could buy an unflavored one. But, yeah, this one, I mean, salted caramel, and it's good. I mean, you say, yeah, salted caramel, huh? So, yeah, put a scoop of that in there. And you can put a quarter teaspoon of vanilla in there, too. Why not? So that one we'll put right in the fridge. And I think we may have too much liquid in there, but no, I think it'll be all right. We'll see. Oh, pull it back out. Oh, which oats did we put in there? The protein oats. So, yeah, look at it. It is kind of like it's ready to go. Now, you could add flax or nuts or whatever. You could put a banana in it. You could have put a banana in there I would go half banana. But that would be your overnight oats, traditional style. And I think any of these other three you could also probably do. But we're going to go through. So I have a couple other flavors here. So we're going to do a berry one here with the protein powder. Is what I mean by the flavor. The vanilla and a salted caramel. And yeah, you could choose which ones. Okay. Then we're going to, we got the oats in here, the chia, the dates, and the protein powder. And then we're going to leave we're not going to leave those. I'm sorry. We're going to blend those and leave those. The difference between the overnight oats is you may not want to blend the oats for the overnight oats that you're eating. Where this is a smoothie, I just my personal preference to blend the oats with the chia and the date. And I don't know, like with the bananas, personally, I would put the banana in the night before for the ones that are going to be bananaed. Banana's not a must because the date already adds some sweetness, but if you want a little bit more or you like banana flavor, I wouldn't withhold the date. I would have the date and the banana. So, yeah, okay, we'll go with it, all of them. Oh, no, not on that one. Okay, cool. All right, so that's normally what I would leave overnight. And then, so now we have these left over from the night before. And, yeah, they're looking a little thick. Now, here's the good news. You got a few options. You could add more of the same liquid, whether it be, so this one would be milk, oat milk, or almond milk. You could add an alternative milk to a different alternative milk, like the almond milk, because almond milk is kind of not that different than water. Or you could just add water, probably just a little bit at first. Maybe we want to have a half cup ready of whatever liquid. We don't want to add too much now, but we do want everything to be able to blend. But we don't want to over liquefy it. Not to dilute the flavor. Okay, then, now this is where I get really untechnical after this. So we're going to add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed to each one of those. Great. Then a handful of berries or a half handful of each kind of berry. Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, one handful of berries, yeah. Then a handful of kale and spinach, frozen. Now, the nice thing is if you can crunch it up in the bag, and the only reason I freeze it is because it's just way easier to use, and then you can keep it's always ready to go. And it also I find it blends a lot easier. So I have no idea what, I don't know anything about anything. So this is just how I consume stuff. But I do find that this particular method, you don't want a heaping handful, though. Yeah, more like more than a pinch, yeah. Okay, so let me just review if we've forgotten anything. I don't think so. So we're going to blend all those. And I do like to, I like it to be not too, like, I like it to be drinkable, like, so not like a thick smoothie, but not paper thin either. Yeah, so those are pretty good, huh? Now, the bonus one, now you got your day of, I said I'd talk about. Now, I'm going to even give you another bonus. Now, this one is for if you're looking for something really light and you drink a lot of coffee like I do, but I don't advise this. But so this one, we're going to take one of these cups. Thank you. We're going to put about a cup of coffee in there. Yeah, then we're going to put a thing of oat bran in there. And you could also put, instead, you may be able to put the quick cooking oats in there or instant oats. Okay, I personally don't put a date in here, yeah, obviously. So I guess you would have to decide that for yourself. But I am going to offer, and if we skip the date, this is a little bit of this is just how I make it. I guess I'm just sharing what I make, right? I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, so we have a cup of coffee. The serving, I believe, is a third a cup of that. Yeah, or maybe, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to put it right in the coffee. I know. Then we're going to use the protein powder. And again, yeah, I like the salt. I wouldn't do the strawberry or the berry. I would either do the vanilla or the salted caramel. Or if you're chocolate, I don't know what a chocolate one would be like. It would probably be chocolatey. Okay, so we have those. And then I think that then I'll maybe put a flaxseed in there, but you don't have to. And it's if it's not going to, this is not going to sit. We're going to have this now. Then what we're going to do is go down that aisle there. They have two different kinds of creamer. Oh, they have three kinds. Yeah, they have one zero creamer, one milk alternative, and one creamer. We want the flavored ones. Okay, so we have those. So you'll put the creamer in there, right? Like just a table, like this says, like a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. So that's it. And then you're going to blend that, and you're going to drink it. I mean, I would drink it. I mean, that's probably one of my top, quick breakfasts. So it's just, coffee, creamer, protein powder, and, oat bran. Or, I have used instant oats. Here's the thing. Let's just say you have a kid in your life that you bought instant packets of oats for them of whatever flavor. You can use those, like the ones you would just open like you tear open the top and you put it in the bowl with boiling water. You could put it in one of these with coffee or with milk or milk alternative the day of. Then you don't have to add any flavorings or anything. You might want to add your mix-ins. Particularly, it's just like an easy way for me to have and sometimes I'll just have kale, oh yeah, so you're right, because that one did look a little full. So if I'm putting the kale in, and then it seems like it's like too full, I won't put spinach in there. I don't know if it's art or a science. It's more of like how a confused bedtime storyteller makes their breakfast, huh? Okay, so that's the main thing. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make 2 servings of this oat bran, because this is my easy breakfast number 2. Now, all you're going to do is, you get now, I don't know why, but you make 2 servings of it, so it's like, 2, whatever, I think 2/3 a cup of water. Okay, so we're going to boil that. And then we're going to get 2/3 a cup of it ready, or 1/3, whatever it says on there. I'm not, I can't see it because you're there. Good work though. Now, personally, when I have this, I don't flavor it at all. Now, and here's the thing. This is, again, just my personal preference, and it's strange, but I find that the protein powder works in these liquids, but it doesn't work in the solids alone. Even if I think I've even tried like making it with the alt milk alternative and then I find that it's, something happens. Maybe I just got to keep my protein powders cool. I don't know what it is. So I just have it, the oat bran, 100% by itself. I put a little salt in there. Yeah, just a pinch, a little bit more than a pinch. And then, as it cools, I do find it tastes good. I mean, I like it. Now I'll eat half of it. Yeah, believe it or not, like a half, like the full serving. So that's 2 servings in there. I do find it's like makes me feel very like I had a big breakfast. And when you look at, like you say, holy cow, this stuff is like amazing. But you could add anything you want to it to flavor it, bananas and stuff like that. But this is like the simplest of simple, easiest of ease, Okay, so now we got a couple more tasks. One is very easy. Okay, so we're going to take, now we can change this around. I just want to teach you the basics right now. But the reason we have all the whole wheat flours and stuff like that, we're going to take the artisan bread flour, and I think it has right on the bag a way to make no-knead bread. So basically, you're going to follow. Okay, so measure out the flour. And we got the warm water on the side with the yeast. Okay, great. And flour and salt. And the yeast, I think they call the yeast, this is like proofing the yeast, which we already kind of did. We've been working together, huh? So you can kind of see the yeast is active or activated. I don't know what it means, like active yeast versus non-active yeast. I don't know. I mean, I guess it means one's active and one's not, but this is activated. I mean, if you ask those yeasts, they'd say, we're activated, man. We're ready. And then we're going to we're just going to mix it all together. Yeah, clean your hands. Okay, great. Yeah, you're going to want some all-purpose flour. And then for this particular stage, look at that. You have that cleaning tub there. Okay. So just make it kind of dough. You do have to just squeeze it and mix it. We don't even need to knead it. It's no-knead bread. Yeah. And, so that one, so you just make it into a kind of shaggy ball and then cover it. Now this one here is 16 hours ago. And that one over there is one that's like, we used whole wheat and vital wheat gluten as well. Like it's not 100% whole wheat bread, but it has whole wheat. And that one we let go a little bit longer. So that one is a 24 hours. I think this one, this artisan bread flour is a 16er. Okay, and then those ones so those are what they look like when they're ready. And then you just follow the instructions. You prep it a little bit more. Preheat the oven. I use cast iron to make mine. Yeah, I use those 2 different cast iron ones. One's a kind of skillet and one's whatever that thing's called, like a deeper skillet. I don't know. But you can use like a Dutch oven as well. Okay, so then we put it in the oven and we just follow the cooking times. Yeah, look at how crusty that is. Isn't that beautiful? You do a little bit like you do about, it's different for each one, but about a half hour and then about 10 to 12 minutes with the top off. And those are very crusty baguettes. I don't know. They're actually not baguettes. You're right. But boy, I don't know what to call them, but And those are good. And again, now personally, I'm not going to, I love, would love to have this whole artisan bread flour, bread loaf, and it's delicious. And this store has that cultured butter. I would highly recommend just toast a piece with that cultured butter. After we let it rest, but these ones are rested. Now, the whole wheat one is great with just butter. You could have it as a peanut butter and jelly, or, later on for a later meal, or you can make some avocado toast with either one, guaca salsa toast, egg sandwich, kind of unlimited. And again, it kind of comes down to, I don't know, when you have kids, if I make this artisan bread loaf, there's 100% chance my daughter will eat most of it for breakfast and lunch, in different forms. The whole wheat one will be a little bit slower to consume, but then I can also help with it. Yeah. So, and then the last thing we're going to make, now there's a lot of other recipes, right? Like there's the olive version. We can make a rye version. I love making rye bread. Now the rye bread for breakfast, I guess it's good for an egg sandwich or just with butter. The only issue with the rye is then you have to have something else to have it for lunch, because I think I could have a rye peanut butter and jelly, right? But yeah, the next thing we're going to make is banana bread. So yeah, with banana bread, we also have a lot of options. I'm doing this one. This one we're going to do right now, though. We need 3 bananas, the walnuts. We're going to do a whole wheat flour one. But again, you could do it however you want to do it. But yeah, for that one, we're going to do, that's one, we're going to follow the recipe. So whole wheat flour. Baking soda for that one, salt, brown sugar, eggs, vanilla. Now, usually these recipes call for 1 teaspoon. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of the paste and 1 teaspoon of the liquid. We could easily use that double. We're going to vanilla this thing, man. Then a neutral oil. Okay. Yeah, so we got everything ready. So yeah, this one's kind of simple. First, mash up the banana, right? Then we're going to get our dry bowl. Yeah, so that's the flour, baking soda, and salt, and just stir that together. Okay, then in this one, we're going to take the sugar and eggs. Now, sometimes I'll switch this recipe. I'm going to use, instead of a neutral oil, I'll use butter. Or you could just look up a recipe with butter. Or you could use neutral oil, however you wish to do it, right? I wonder what I wonder if I used a neutral oil, if it would have been more fluffy, huh? Next time I'll find out, maybe. Okay, so let's get this fluffy, and we want to get it really whipped up, really whisk it up so the eggs are almost, yeah. And then we're going to add vanilla, because this will be what adds the height to it, because it's a whole wheat one. Yes, you want to get it nice and big. Okay, then put the bananas in there. Okay. And then we're going to get all the dry stuff. And then the walnuts, yeah. And then we're going to put it in the bread. And you could use whatever parchment paper, or don't use parchment paper. That's your call. Yeah, great work. And then we're going to, and it's already done, and cooled. So this is another, you can slice that up. And this is another, I'm glad everybody in the store is feasting with us, because, it's a lot of different ways. I'm glad the oat bran, though, because it really is, it's just so simple. And again, if you want to flavor it, you can. I'd say you're asking me my favorites. My favorite is the protein oats in the smoothie with everything that I leave, the overnight oat smoothie, I guess is what it is. And then the oat bran on its own, and the breads and stuff are nice. But when you make bread, it is kind of something you're making for, I think you're making it for yourself when you need, when you need a little self-care, but you also make bread for other people, right? So for the love of bread and for our fellow persons, for the love of sleep, I'm glad we got to, this is all stuff you get. Bob's Red Mill. This isn't sponsored or anything, but this is like made my big influence on my breakfast. So check it all out, and thanks so much for joining me. Sleep well. Let's all take a nap here after that nice breakfast. Because none of us drank any of the coffee. We forgot. Good night, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots here, tucking you in. I don't know if you listen, we've been running testimonials from people that support the show directly versus me kind of trying to, I don't know, I don't feel like I have to convince you, right, to support the show. It's just like getting the message through. But I had to do something different because it's just wasn't working. What I was doing wasn't working, so it's time to change it up. So hopefully you listen to those. I'm just going to run through some of the bonus content we've got on Sleep With Me Plus lately. We had, like a Fearless Flyer from the holidays of 2024, a holiday parade, a Disney parade, a Posty Super Deluxe episode. He's getting ready to kick off his new series in 2025. We're reading through the book, Frankie and Victor, another Fearless Flyer. I'm pretty sure there's, it must not have the right, there's also like on location episodes. I know I'm editing one right now that'll come out this month, where, I take the Skyliner in Disney World. That part's in, binaural audio. And then I walk around the Art of Animation Resort. We've also had like balcony episodes. Drew reads news. That came out this summer. So yeah, check it out. I appreciate it. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, use the contact form on our website. I'm always here to check in with you. But yeah, I really appreciate you listening. And yeah, the best ways to support the show is on Sleep With Me Plus, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Support our sponsors or spread the word about the show or spread the word about podcasting in general or support something else that brings you value. If you say, nah, I'm not going to support Sleep With Me. What else do you, podcasts or YouTube or artists do you enjoy? Support one of them. Thanks and good night.